Hi, welcome to Senior Insights. I gotta put my eyes up. My name is Cynthia, and today we're just gonna have a coffee break together. We're gonna have a little chat, and in the end, I'm gonna give you another trivia question. So stay tuned. I hope everybody is well and having a good day. I named this video Get Away From It All. And I guess that's what I want you to do with these coffee breaks is just get away from it all. And you know what? I have to tell you that my coffee breaks aren't always in the morning because I have to film them whenever I have time. So, just so you know, I want to be honest with every single thing. I don't want to be fake. I am not fake. I don't like fake things. Ask my friend Anne. She'll tell you, I don't like things that are fake. Anyway, it's still growing. It's still growing and growing and growing. I never in my wildest dreams thought that there was such a need for elderly or senior people to get together and have a voice and just escape, get away for a while. So come join me. I'm lonely too. I live alone. I'm a widow. I do have a dog, and I do have a cat, and I do have a tortoise. And someday I'll talk about those things. But as you all know, I'm really trying to just process this sudden success. And so the way I decided that I could handle it is to just be myself and just talk and talk with you, the people that I want to be on this channel and that I want to get to know. So even if I don't respond to your comments, I am reading every single one of them. Now, what does that have to do with getting together and having coffee and talking about it? I don't know. I keep talking about that and talking about it. I should get over it, but this is my way of getting over it. So I'm going to have to do it. You'll have to put up with me. I can't help it. It's just the way I am. I told you I was very odd. So there. I had tuna fish for lunch. Does anyone else like tuna fish? I went in the refrigerator and I could not find one thing. Now I have 2 freezers full. I have all those vegetables that I stored the way that they're supposed to be stored, and that worked fabulously, but I don't think they can work for a year. I need to cook some of those. Green beans are still there. Some of the asparagus is still there. As I was saying that, I think I'll make a quiche. You guys like quiche? Anyway, so that's what I think I'll have for dinner tonight, is a quiche. Now ask me tomorrow if I did it, because I talk like that all the time. Before I forget, I would like to suggest to everyone, if you haven't already gone to Simply Heart and Home, if you're not subscribed to that channel, I would love it if you would just check out her channel. Her name is Gina, and the name of it is Simply Heart and Home. And if I can figure out how to put a link in the comments, in the description, I will. But you can just Google it anyway. She's been very supportive. I don't know if you've noticed that she's commented. It's interesting. There's only 2. When I first started, I reached out to several content creators that I thought were kind of older and would understand, and I invited them to come to my channel. And out of that, I think 4 people did. And I think they did it just out of the kindness of their hearts. But Gina comes whenever she can. She's busy. She posts 2 videos a day. So you could have coffee with me. You could have coffee with her. You would never have to stop drinking coffee. Or maybe you'd have to switch to something else, because then there would be the problem of you having to go to the bathroom all the time. That's something we're going to talk about. Why did I get into that? because if you drink too many fluids, then you have to pee. So eventually we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about personal hygiene issues that women might have, elderly women might have, incontinence, all that stuff, all that gross stuff. But it's real, and it needs to be out in the open. We need to flush it all out and talk about it and let other people know that they're not alone. They are not unique. Well, you are unique. God made us unique. Each and every one of us is unique. We are miracles. And don't you forget it, because we are walking, talking miracles. Keep forgetting to look at that camera. I feel like I'm looking up at the sky. Anyway, I'll get it eventually, but don't complain about it, please, because it irritates me. So I was wondering, well, what do I talk about? I think I'm going to stick a little bit with the kitchen theme, the old kitchen, and because a lot of people had suggestions, and I don't think it's enough information to actually do another whole video on it. So I thought maybe it would be fun on our chats if we maybe just talked about one and beat it to death. So that's what I was thinking. You can let me know. I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments. But once again, I have no clue what I'm going to say, so I'm winging it. You remember the meat grinder? Someone brought that up, and that wasn't one that I had talked about. I remember the meat grinder very well on my grandmother's kitchen table, and she used to grind meat in it. Isn't that a novel idea? Do any of you still have a meat grinder? Do you use it? I have one, but it's an attachment to my KitchenAid mixer. And I was given it by my daughter, who got it as a wedding gift, and she says, "Oh, I'll never use that." So I said, "I will." Well, I have used it for about one time. But maybe, if we get into this frugal stuff a little bit more and not spending money a little bit more, we'll get into grinding our meat on the meat, and maybe we can find one of those grinders. If we don't have one, we can find one at Goodwill or something. Because, even though I said I don't like to go out, you have to go out sometimes. And just because you don't like to go out doesn't mean that you're afraid to go out and you don't know how to have a good time. That's what somebody else suggested in the comments, that you people don't need to get a life. We have a life. And sometimes we go out, and sometimes we go to Goodwill. Does anybody like to go thrifting? I do, but I have so much clutter and so much stuff. And I keep saying this, we have to deal with it at some point. We just have to take the bull by the horns and deal with it. Look at how many brooms I have over there in the corner. They're not all brooms, but one's one of those reachers. One is a Swiffer. But I bought replaceable pads for the Swiffer because aren't they a ripoff? So I went on Amazon and I got a package of like 6, I think they were in the package. And they're like white terry cloth and they fit exactly on the Swiffer. They're made for the Swiffer. I use them once, I throw them in the washer. I don't want to throw them in the washer when they're really dirty because I only do one wash a week, maybe 2. And no, I'm not dirty. But no, I don't separate my clothes either, which I know for us seniors, that is a no-no. I understand that. But sometimes you have to learn from the younger kids. They just throw it all in together. Maybe that's why they have all those holes in their jeans. Can you imagine now I'm on to the holes in the jeans. Can you imagine they actually pay money to have holes in their jeans? It doesn't make sense to me. It's very strange. And they think we're strange, that we're odd. Did we ever wear holes in our jeans? We wore bell bottoms, though. Those are pretty bad. The polyester leisure suits for the men, those were really bad. The poodle skirts, all those things. So I guess it's just a fashion phase that they're going through. I guess. Make sure you check the post today that I post the answer to the bifocal question. And if I don't, remind me, because I do have lots of senior moments. I have it written down, but sometimes I don't look at what I wrote down. And then sometimes I have so many papers here. Look at this. I keep taking notes of thoughts that I have, things that I'd like to talk about, and then I can't find where I put them. So I'm trying to be organized. If there's any secretaries out there that used to do this organizing, you can give me a couple of hints. Not too many. I can only take so much, as we've seen. By the way, I feel much better. Did I already say that? I don't remember what I said, but I feel much better today. And it's because I'm talking to you and I'm telling you how I feel. And that's what friends are for. That's what this group is for. And I guess I have to be the mouthpiece. Someday I will do one of those live things, presentations. I've never even watched one, so I wouldn't be able to even conceive of how to do it. So let's get through this growth spurt, which I'm sure will slow down. And then we can think about doing things like that. But in the meantime, you will just have to put up with me. And we'll just go slow, back to slow. Slow and steady wins the race. So I was talking about tuna fish. I had tuna fish for lunch and it was really good. Because when I looked in the refrigerator that had a whole bunch of stuff, there was nothing there to eat that I would have been satisfied with. And speaking of eating things, you know those muffins, those chocolate muffins? There's only one left. There's only one left. And I didn't go out today to the women's group because I wanted to devote my time to my group. And I feel like I need the time at home to recuperate. So I only have one left. So I was thinking of making lemon poppy seed or lemon blueberry. I haven't figured it out yet, but trust me, you will see them. And you'll be able to see every crumb in the muffin. Oh, we're talking about chocolate muffins and lemon poppy seed muffins. Those chocolate muffins, I'm sorry, they're not like any muffin I ever had. They're more like a cupcake. Well, I'm at a loss for words. Help me out here. It's not easy coming up with things to talk about. But I remember lots of things. Let me go back to my kitchen list and see if there's anything that we can talk about. One of the suggestions was that we talk about bras, facial hair. I think that that is a really good topic. I'm not going to get into it today because I'm not prepared and I have lots to say about that subject. So let me know in the comments if that's something that interests you. Bras, facial hair, add in legs too. You could add in anything else you want if you'd like. What about the metal match holder? When that person commented, I was saying, yes, I remember that so well. I actually have one for my wood stove, but I haven't been able to figure out how to hang it close to the stove without burning the house down. But I remember cute little enamel ones, or I don't know if they were enamel or just painted over, but they had cute little kitchen-y designs on them. And they were cute. We don't have those anymore. These kids, they should keep them, by the stove in case if you have an gas stove and it goes out. You need to have matches. So you should have a decorative match holder. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about the history of Tupperware because someone mentioned that they thought Tupperware was out of business. And I will tell you the gory details tomorrow. So stay tuned. That should be really interesting. Those Tupperware parties were fun though, weren't they? They're kind of like what we're doing now. But I'm not trying to sell you anything. Yet. You know what happens when you get these big YouTube channels? Then they start putting that $ in the corner, and they start having small groups that you have to pay a subscription to. I don't know if I could handle that. I don't know. The small group, but charging money, I don't know. I know that some people do it, and they have a nice intimate group. Maybe that core group of people that I was talking about would do it. Who knows? I'm getting way ahead of myself. My mind is like going like I don't know if you'd call it a freight train or a fan or something. It's just whirring around. That first night, Sunday night, I could not sleep. I was like YouTubed up, and I sleep well. I sleep like a rock. I slept good last night. And that's it's an important thing for us seniors to do, is to get a good night's sleep. So I was really worried that night that I couldn't sleep because I was obsessing about, my gosh, what am I going to do now that I got what I wished for? Which I never wished for 5,000 people. I wished for the 4,000. Today it's almost up to 6,000. I think I might tell my kids when it gets up to 10,000. Then there will be no room for them to laugh or to criticize me or think their mother is weird, which I am. I know I am. I'm just different. You're different. We're all different. And all the subscribers to this channel, you can tell, it's so cool. You can tell the people that are really trapped in their homes by their comments. And they're not wallowing it. Some people think we're wallowing in our misery. I am not miserable. I am very happy. And you know what? I'm getting happier every day since that Sunday because I'm calming down. If I was that anxious as I was Sunday and Monday, I couldn't do it. But I'm happy to do it now. So, anyway, I think that's probably enough of my eyes looking in the wrong directions. But I wanted to ask you a question, and I will post the answer in the comments after the next video. Well, not after the next video, the next morning video, because that's another thing. I was posting videos twice a week, twice a day, and I couldn't do it when I was in shock. And I'm just coming out of the shock. So I did post one, a second one for tomorrow, I think, for, I don't know, but there's a second one coming out on a walk, you know, something simple. And then, but I'm not promising that. I try not to make promises that I can't keep. I can't remember what I was saying. Anyway, I am feeling much better. I am thankful that you came and you joined me today because you're helping me feel better. And I'm thrilled with that because I didn't want to feel like I wanted to give up. But I'm sure you understand. I know what I was talking about now. I was talking about the variety of different women. Women that are afraid to go out of their house. Men that have said they're grateful that I talked about that. Some people felt sorry for me, but don't feel sorry for me because I go out when I want to. I stay home voluntarily. It's because I like it at home, and I get into trouble when I go out, like spending money. But anyway, see, I'm talking and yakking and talking. I can't help it. Thank you very much, and I will see you for our next gathering.